Hello everybody, welcome to another video. This week, I say this week, it's only Wednesday the 23rd. The Nutramare video went down a treat, got quite a good few views on that, so hopefully it's going well. Just a little quick brief update because it's like a diary that I do, as you know. Very happy with the results so far. The fish are enjoying it. I've got through all that food that was in my food hopper, and what I've done is filled it with 2 kilos of Nutramare, and I've kind of worked out what one feed is on this feeder. So anyway, I'm not going to do details on that for this one, but the fish are looking good, so I'll just plop you in here to have a quick look. It's Wednesday the 23rd. The water's doing well. It's 7:30 at night. I'd normally watching Ricky Stoddart on his live every week, but he's not doing one this week, so I'm going to get in here and talk about salt. But for a moment, let's just have a minute on this. These fish are doing absolutely ace. I've not measured any of them yet. Like I said, I was going to. Had a bit of a busy weekend. Other things cropped up which I'll get onto in a minute. So I really enjoyed the bank holiday weekend. Hope you lot did. It was a fab one. But we'll have a quick look in here. This is where it normally accumulates food. Now we've got to bear in mind that it's only been on straight cut Nutramare. It's only been on that since now Wednesday. I think it was bank holiday Monday. So there's the actual food that I've still got mixed in. It's still got some sake curry white mixed in, which I've increased my feeds now as well. They're right up. The feeds are right up. So I feed every 3 hours from 6 o'clock till 12 o'clock at night at the moment. So we'll throw some in. There's the stuff that's sinking, look. The Nutramare sinking. The floating stuff is the sake hikari. The straight on the sinking. I think it definitely, the sinking, I think they enjoy that better for the bodies and everything like that. You know, because they're not reaching up or not vertical and things like that. So, quickly then, we'll have a look at the waste, because this is where it accumulates, because my water flows in here. And this is where it comes down. On my last video, a couple of videos ago, I mentioned that I hoovered this out and this is where it collects. So this is going to be the best place to look. And as you can see, there's a little bit of waste. Can you see where it's settled there? You might not be able to. There is some waste in there. Let me see if I can get underneath. It's very difficult, I must admit, but because of the... Can you see waste at the bottom? There is a little bit. You can see it, the lighter stuff. So can you see it at this edge? Now I don't know whether that is Nutramare or whether it is the sake white. But anyway, there's a few little fines there floating. But I am more than happy at the moment. I'm more than happy with the progression. I say progression with the food so far. The fish seem to love it. The waste is nothing crazy. I'm fortunate enough, like I say, that the circulation of the pond, it either goes into the bottom drain or it accumulates in this bit of a low spot because of where the return is here, and then the return from there circulates round. But anyway, yeah, water's looking good, and I've not yet got a sniff of ammonia or nitrite yet in my, because I think mainly because of the moving bed. There it is. As you can see, I've been doing a bit of shopping. I've had a delivery today. I went on to is it called Pond Keeper or something like that, and this was only $9.99 a kilo on offer, so I thought I'd get it because it looks like the tub and everything is almost identical, the dosage and everything, and what's on here, it's almost identical to the one that I advocate, the tap. It's called Tap blanket weed, no more blanket weed. It's really good stuff. So I thought, right, for that price I'm going to get some. And then I saw this filter start gel. Now this looks like another product, similar sort of manufactured exclusively for Pond Expert, it says there, but it looks a very similar product, which you know what I'm getting at. But it's not as thick, even though it says Pond Start Gel. It's blue, a real blue. You can see the blue on the side there, look. So yeah, it is a bit jelly, give it a shake. But it is more liquid than gel, I would say. So anyway, I'm just going to use that because that was only £9.99 each. It should have been £19.99, £9.99. So I thought for 20 quid, get 2 litres. And then for 40 quid, I've got 4 kilo of blanket weed treatment. So I always get a capture a point in all my ponds, whether it's this one, the main one where blanket weed starts growing, and this one, once that light hits, it normally starts growing on this side. But this has got salt in, so it probably won't. Now then, so that's a bit of an update with that lot. As you can see, I bought some salt as well. So you want PDV salt. Now, should you add salt to a pond? I wouldn't, unless you're doing it for a reason, and I'm adding that for a reason in here, my QT, and we'll see the fish if they come up in a minute, because there's a reason for it. That is already at 0.3. It's pretty much maintained at that basic level of 0.3%, which is like a maintenance level of salt. That's got a little bit in it, but that's only residual from last year when I used it. 0.05. The main pond has got nothing in it. But let's just discuss salt. So why am I using it? Don't get roped into just using it because you think it's good, because you don't need to go down that avenue. Only use it for a reason. So if you get new fish and you've got a quarantine and they're stressed and they might have a couple of knocks, and you know you've got that risk of maybe a nitrite spiking a bit, you can use it at 0.3 to help and aid the fish. It calms them down, it'll aid the skin, the slime coat, you know, and all those sort of things. And what I have got, which is a good tip for you to take away, because I always have a tip for you to take away, on my phone I have what's called Samsung notes files, and I've actually got it open here, look, and I've got one on salt. So, and I've got all sorts saved, because over the years you just pick stuff up and you save it. And what I don't want to say is just dump it in, and then, because what I will do, what I would have done if I weren't doing a video, I would have just put that tub in, got that salt, put it in, tested it with a meter, my Koi Medic instrument, and then taking that to 0.5, so I'm taking it up by 0.2. Now the guidance that I've got on here is you never mix salt with other treatments, especially formalin. That's in capitals, look. I don't know why that is or what it does or what the relationship is, but the recommended dose for general pond use is 1.5 kilograms 1,000 litres, and that will be a percentage of 0.15%. so I'm going to use that roughly to take this up. So if I put 1.5 kilo in, it should raise that to 0.45, for example. So you get the drift there. But I'll do that, and then I will go with my salt percentage pen and take a reading, and when I hit about 0.5, stop. Now why 0.5 key? Anyway, let's just go back to this and just give you some information of what it is, you know, what salt can do. Now it can prevent various ailments, it's got positive side effects, but it shouldn't be considered, and I agree with this, considered the go-to treatment for every problem, because it's not. That's why I said to you straight off the bat, it's for a specific reason, and I'll get into that in a minute. So what's important is your pH, ammonia, nitrites. Test all them on a regular basis and have all those readings are good for me in that pond. And then testing for parasites. Now, salt can be added to a pond where there are high levels of nitrite, and that helps to reduce the toxicity of the nitrite. It can also be used, like I've already said, to with fish that appear stressed or fatigued. Okay, so that's like if you get new koi. But like I say, don't just throw it in your pond. It can also be effective at the end of autumn going into winter, because I always consider this every year. So my main pond, it's cold, it's not heated, so those fish are going to get a long period of winter where they're not going to see a lot of light. I've got my pond balls on them, so from, let's say, December, January, February, March, it's 4 months there where they've got the pond balls on. They're at cold temperatures below 10 degrees. They can get knocked, bumps and stuff like that, and just not be in the best conditions, because they're not surviving, they're not thriving, sorry, they're surviving, and that can present problems. But if you've got a bit of salt in it, say 0.3, then that will help them. Okay, it also balances the osmolality, in the actual, from the balance between the pressure inside the koi and outside of the koi. It equalizes it. So with a high concentration, it equalizes it, so there's less pressure on the membrane, if you like, of the koi. So under them scales is a membrane, and if that's broken with ulcers and stuff, believe it or not, but water can actually get into the system of the koi. But if the system's balanced, it can't, it evens it out. It's probably a really poor explanation of it. But if you want a better, more scientific explanation of it, have a look on YouTube and on Google and stuff. There will be a lot better explanations there, no doubt. You can also use it as a dip, so you can have a salt, give the koi a salt bath. So look this sort of stuff up. I'm not going to give you specific numbers really, because everyone's ponds are different. But there is guidance on there on where to start and how much to put in. So but you need to know the volume of your water. This is 2,000 litres. So why am I putting it? Right. Well, that tancho there, I've had that out, look. So I mentioned on my previous videos that it's got a red side, look. I got that out and I cleaned it. I really cleaned it, got right into the pocket and gave it a really, really good clean. So that's in there. So I want to get the percentage up to 0.5, because there is also, I noticed when I took my pond balls off, there was a fish that has got what we call pine cone with a bit of Popeye. So that is an internal infection. Now it can be quite difficult. It's that one there, look. You see it's a bit fat on the sides. It can be quite difficult to get that back from the infection, but I'm going to give it my best shot. So I've got it out of the cold water, which is currently around 10 degrees, and it's now in this, and I'm going to raise this, and I'll show you now. I'm going to raise this to 0.5. This water is about, the ambient in this one is about 19.5, so that will be the same. So the immune system's really starting to kick in at sort of 18 degrees. So now the water temperature in here will get a lot higher, and once it gets to 22, 24, the effects of 22, 24 degrees and salt in water, especially at 0.5, is amazing. That's what made kept what koi, where is it? Kept this koi below us here alive. You have a look at a year ago on my video, that was in a right mess. It really was, and I was nearly lost it. It was red, it was pink, split fins, horrible, and I could not get rid of it. Well, that 0.5% salt at 24 degrees in summer, I noticed the difference within days, and I'm not kidding when I say that. Go and check that video out. So can't really get a good look at that fish. It's that one there. Now what you have to bear in mind, if you put salt in water, it will kill off algae. So you can find that if you have got filaments of algae, it can kill it. So it sort of puts it into the water column, so your water can get a bit cloudy because the actual algae is being killed off, and it makes it go browny colour. So it starts obviously dropping off the sides and stuff, so you might have to clean your filters out a bit more. That is a side effect. It could be, you could look at that as a positive side effect. I kind of look at it as a bit of a negative one because I don't like it. It happened in this pond last year. I put salt in this one, great, the algae died off, but it made the water cloudy, it messes the water up a little bit. But if you don't mind that, then go for it. But if that is going to bother you, it's just something to bear in mind. There's that fish. It's a Sankey gym ring. Now that Sankey there, that one, the one that I noticed on my last video that was sulking and just dead quiet, and then it will move around and feed, and then it will be quiet. Well, I did a scrape on that and I found 2 fluke on it. Found 2 fluke. So I've ordered some Prazi Quentinel, and I've dipped all those fish in PP. Now I know some people aren't gonna like that, but I dipped them all. So that one got a dip, because really I don't want to put PP in this system. I could do, but I thought because there's only, just because of these fish that are in here, PP them. The one that had a couple of fluke, hopefully that will have a immediate blast and get the fluke off and a bit of comfort. But I wasn't convinced it was the fluke, and I couldn't find anything else. So it's there now, look, in that corner. Can you see it? See the shadow? There, look. See the other ones have you know, meandering around, but that one looks gone to the corner again. But I did find fluke, couldn't find anything else, no Costia, Chilo or white spot, just fluke. So I do know that that's got fluke on it. So wait now, look. Don't look. Just, I don't know, just a bit awkward the way it's moving. And that hasn't been in the cold water, it's been in here. Now I bought this in last year because it had a mark on it, said, and that's all completely cleared up now. So I was hoping to put that into my main pond, but I can't now because I know it's got fluke on it. So yes, bugger. So what I'm going to do, I've got some Prazi Quentel coming, just 100% Prazi coming. It's a powder. So I'm probably going to treat this 2,000 litres soon. But at the minute I've got the other fish in there now, so I'm getting in a bit of a pickle really, because I needed to get that out and get out the main pond. So I've got one with fluke in there at the moment, and I've got one with sorry, I forgot the name when it's called pine cone. I'll flash it up. It's called Dropsy. That's the word, Dropsy, where the scales, instead of them being nice and flat to the body, they start flaring out because the body's swelling up internally. So hopefully get that salt up. It's now in warmth and hopefully it'll respond well. It seems okay. I mean, I looked at it this morning, it did look a little bit better, to be fair. So hopefully on that note it will start doing well. So what I do, and like I say, this is not a teaching video. I'm not teaching to do stuff, I'm just a diary of what I'm doing. So now I used to put this in a bucket, put it in pond water and start trying to dissolve it, then pour it in, but I don't anymore. I just pour it straight in. And one of the benefits I find with that is it slowly dissolves, so it kind of raises the percentage. It's not instant, if you know what I mean. So you do have to be a bit careful, because there is a little bit of a delayed response, because you could put it in, test the water with a Koi Medic or a salt pen and take that reading as gospel, keep putting the salt in, but because it's not dissolved in the water yet, that's the only thing you've got to be careful of. there's a slower reaction time to the percentage going up, so you have to be a bit careful with this method. But if you're in no rush, then I like doing it this way. But I also, the more you do it, the kind of more you learn. So you kind of learn to do it this way and be not exact first time, but roughly where you want to be. It's like when at first you're a bit careful with how much bicarb you put in. Well, after a bit you just know how much, because you learn your own pond and everything like that. And that's why a lot of people don't specifically tell people measurements on what they're doing. It's just, you've got to work that out yourself. Look at the guidance and go from there. So as a disclaimer, I'm not telling you to do it this way, okay? There it goes. So that's only 700 millilitres. So that's about 700 grams. So, and what I will say, it is surprising how much salt you need to lift, to make the water lift as well. Surprising how much it dissolves. So this was bang on, and I mean bang on, 0.3. Great bit of kit this, Koi Medic. Look, not cheap. I think they're about £70, but this has never failed me, not once. Never failed me. So I'm just going to pop that in here, and it beeps. It actually beeps at you. It's flashing between 0.33, 0.34. It's settled on 0.33. What I'm going to do, I know that I've got to do it a couple of times. There we go. So I am going to stop on that now. Stop on that. So what I'll do tomorrow, when I've got time, tomorrow evening, I'll do exactly the same again. But for demonstration purposes, it's literally, you press the button to hold it in, to turn it on, then it starts flashing. You put it in the water, it'll start taking a reading, it starts blinking. Once it stabilises, it'll beep, and then it holds your reading, and I'll show you that once it's held. Did you hear that? It went beep once. It beeped once, and then the reading that it's giving me is 0.39. So hopefully with the actual salt that hasn't fully dissolved yet, that will get me somewhere up to 0.5 by tomorrow, once it's all dissolved naturally. So naturally raising it, so it's quite looks quite brutal pouring it in, but it's quite nifty actually, because it's not all dissolved at once and gone in the water, if you like. So it's not an instant sort of raise in percentage. It will naturally do it. So 0.39, look. And then if I want to do it again, press it. Oh, sorry, that's that side I need. Take another reading, it'll flash. And then I'll put this in here again and do it. Just do it again, just out of interest. Same, we're at about 0.41 now. So you get the drift. So hopefully by tomorrow that'll be about 0.5. If it's a bit more than that, it's no bother, because you can treat at high percentages. You can actually treat parasites such as Costia. Apparently, I've never done it. 0.4. 0.4 now. So we'll leave them to it with a bit of luck. And that's off. So with a bit of luck, they respond well to that. As you can see, look at them, they seem to be a bit more active all of a sudden. They like koi are, they like a bit of activity. That Sankey, the one that had a couple of fluke on it, seems a bit more active all of a sudden. So when you do treatments and things like that, it can irritate the fish, it can make them act a bit strange and jump and stuff like that, so you've got to be careful. So you're best to have a net. Otherwise you could find, if you are treating koi, whether it's with a fluke treatment, something for Costia, PP, salt, they can react and jump because they can itch and scratch and things like that with the effect. It might be a fluke treatment that's, you know, killing off the fluke, and they sort of, they feel it and they get a bit aggravated, so that's their way of itching or slapping themselves. You know, if you get an itch or you got, you know, you might do that and it relieves you, don't it? Well, when koi flash, that's exactly what they're doing. They're doing exactly the same, but that's their way because they haven't got no bloody hands, have they? So they can't do it like we can. Anyway, on the next video, I will see how these go. But there you go. That's how I add salt, and that's what I've done with this one. So, on that note, let's leave it with the fish, which are looking incredibly active. We've got a better view of that one there now. So where's that other one? Where's the one with dropsy? It's in there somewhere. You have to be careful, guys, with salt. You have to watch it, because if you get any water in it, it will just keep wicking up all the water up, so it's a bit of a pain in that way. But so you've got to keep it nice and dry. There they all are. All four of them are looking well. So another job done. The quarantine tank is now, we've got the salt in it, the temperature's where I want it to be. Hopefully we will get a bit more sun, it will get up to 24 and reach that max, and then their immune system will really fire up, really get them strong, and really give them the best chance of any ailments before winter comes again, when it's cold again. If you don't get it sorted like that one, because late on last year it wasn't fully recovered, it's been lingering a bit, so it's not fully recovered because the immune system was down. So I'm giving it another bash. So that's that pond. That's an update on them. That's an update from me. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Please like, share, subscribe. I think there's even a thumbs down now. I think we always say that. And I'll see you on the next one, where no doubt it's that time of year now where things are starting to happen. I'll have the Praziquantel will come, I think, by the weekend. On my next video I'll show you the filter start, but I'm going to start using that for a maintenance now. I've got my tub here with my stuff to make my own PSB bacteria again, like I did last year. Things are looking good, and these hungry hippos are wanting more bloody food. ASOC pump is still struggling because it's still getting 5 degrees C and colder at night, so it's maintaining about 17.5. It's 19.5 at the minute. Change the batteries in there, look. Things looking great. I tell you what, you've got to be careful, but this time of year you can't help but bloody feed them, can you? Anyway, I said my goodbyes already, so let's end it on them. Doing absolutely marvellous. Not too shabby. Over and out.